What if the tensions we see today between the United States, Israel, and Iran did not begin with missiles, not with nuclear threats, not even in this century, but in 1953? To understand today's crisis, we must travel back more than 70 years, to oil, power, and a secret operation that changed Iran forever. This is the story of how history built one of the most dangerous rivalries in the modern world. In the early 1950s, Iran had a democratically elected prime minister named Mohammad Mossadegh. He made one bold decision. He nationalized Iran's oil industry. For decades, British companies controlled Iranian oil and took most of the profits. Mossadegh believed the oil belonged to the Iranian people. Britain was furious. The United States, fearing Soviet influence during the Cold War, became concerned that Iran might drift toward communism. So in 1953, the CIA and British intelligence launched a covert operation to remove Mossadegh from power. Protests were organized. Political pressure increased. Chaos filled the streets. Eventually, Mossadegh was removed. The Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, was restored to power. To many Iranians, this was not just politics. It was foreign interference in their democracy. And from that moment, distrust toward America began to grow. For years, the Shah ruled Iran with strong support from the United States. He modernized the country, but many citizens felt oppressed. Political freedoms were limited. Economic inequality grew. By the late 1970s, mass protests erupted. Religious leader Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini became the face of resistance. In 1979, the Shah fled Iran. Khomeini returned from exile. Iran transformed from a monarchy into an Islamic republic. The new government rejected Western influence. Relations with the United States collapsed. Iran's leadership also declared strong opposition to Israel. Everything in the region shifted. Later in 1979, Iranian students stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. They took 52 American diplomats hostage. For 444 days, the crisis dominated global headlines. It humiliated the United States. It hardened public opinion, and it permanently damaged diplomatic relations. Trust was gone. In 1980, Iraq, led by Saddam Hussein, invaded Iran. The war lasted 8 brutal years. Hundreds of thousands of lives were lost. During the conflict, the United States provided strategic support to Iraq. Iran viewed this as further hostility. The region became militarized. The rivalry deepened. Before 1979, Iran and Israel had working relations behind the scenes. After the revolution, that changed completely. Iran rejected Israel's legitimacy. Israel began viewing Iran as its greatest long-term threat. Tensions expanded beyond borders. Alliances formed. Rivalries intensified. The Middle East became increasingly divided. In the 2000s, Iran's nuclear program became a global concern. World powers feared the possibility of weapon development. In 2015, a major agreement was signed to limit Iran's nuclear activities in exchange for lifting economic sanctions. For a brief moment, tensions eased. But in 2018, the United States withdrew from the agreement. Sanctions returned. Tensions rose once again. Today's crisis between the United States, Israel, and Iran did not appear overnight. It was built over decades. Oil politics, Cold War fears, revolution, war, ideological conflict, nuclear negotiations. 70 years of events layered on top of one another. History does not disappear. It shapes the present. And the present is still being written. This is not just a current conflict. It is a story decades in the making. And understanding that history is the key to understanding today. 70 years of events layered on top of one another. History does not disappear. It shapes the present. And the present is still being written. This is not just a current conflict. It is a story decades in the making. And understanding that history is the key to understanding today.